I take that pausing breath, and as I exhale, I allow myself to arrive fully in presence, as it is my privilege and my pleasure to say, happy first week of April, beautiful people. I am Vicky Jeter, your minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. We welcome you here on this Sunday, April the 6th, 2025. We welcome all paths to God. We welcome your challenges and your questions. All pieces and paths of spirit, all areas of life and parts of ourselves are essential to a world that can work for all. So whether you're here with us for the first time or if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for being with us today, because you are why we are here. There is only love, and love leads our way. And as most of us are aware, no matter where you are, today is another important opportunity to be together spiritually in honor of concerns across the nation, with countless tornadoes by now and floods that seem to be running everywhere over the last 2, 3, 4 days. And as I understand, it's not even quite done until the end of today with regard to rain that can come down. So certainly, as we pray, we have all of this in mind. And so if there's anything particular that you have in mind, make sure and let us know. That's part of why we have a practitioner of the week that will stay after service for individual prayer support. If that would be helpful to you, let me know if you need any resourcing or support. And the more that we learn about how to do this together, the more we learn how it is that Spirit brings about the highest and best good for everybody collectively, even if we can't see it. And in taking this into prayer, we begin with setting intention. So take a moment to check in and see what brought you to be with us today. Our shared intention is to fertilize the soil of our fullest potential and learn more together about why this analogy is so much more than just a concept. It's a way to approach everything that we would like to co-create in our lives. And so we breathe. Breathing is both the essence and the process that is always with us. We breathe in and receive, and as we exhale, we release everything to come to a relative stillness and emptiness that allows us to begin again. I recognize one life, one love, one infinite creative presence that is the source of all existence, that is right here and right now. And as I recognize it, necessarily, consciously, I am one with it. Necessarily, consciously, is each person within the sound of my voice one with the source of being according to their understanding in mind, heart, and soul. And from this alignment, I realize that the communion of this service, the communion of coming together in common intention, overall, collectively, our individual intentions merge and come together as community and as the entity that is Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. And I know and declare right here and right now that as we learn more about how to prepare the soil of our receiving, that receiving becomes a deep and wide well of receptivity that can blossom everything that we know is possible for ourselves individually and for the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for all of this and more. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And this brings us into our opening song, flowing right into it, Every Day by Miss Denise Rosier.
Tiny drops of water bouncing on my roof, drumming out a song of love, pounding out the truth. You send them to remind me, one for every blessing on me, and oh, they keep coming, overflowing. Every day your goodness finds me, every day your heart beats true. I'm alive in the light and the glory, amazed by the sight of you. This love is everlasting, and you find a way to show me every day, every day. In the rush of freeway traffic, in the hush of a sunset, you get my attention, I'm listening. It's a private conversation, you and I in a one vibration, and oh, it moves me so amazing. Every day your goodness finds me, every day your heart beats true. I'm alive in the light and the glory, amazed by the sight of you. This love is everlasting, and you find a way to show me every day, every day. There is no one like you. Every day. There is no one like you. Every day. You love me. Every day. You love me. Every day your goodness finds me. Every day your heart beats true. I'm alive in the light and the glory, amazed by the sight of you. This love is everlasting, and you find a way to show me every day, every day, oh, every day, every day, every
Every day, every moment of every day, with every breath we remember to take, grounded in knowing that we are of spirit, which leads us into our mission and vision, the mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living, which I invite you to say with me, is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. Now, each Sunday, we offer applications of what we believe because we absolutely know and honor that all of this is only so good as you can actually apply it in your daily lives. So we start with a piece from the CSL Global Vision, and this was offered by Dr. Edward Vion about 5 years ago now. We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connect with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. And our application of what we believe pertinent to our topic for today: I plant my intention in spiritual garden and delight in tending it to grow and blossom. And some of you probably will recall that this flows right off of the topic from last week, planting our intentions. And with that, I turn this over for sacred reading and meditation to our practitioner of the week, Miss Tammy Ellis.
I'm grateful to be your practitioner of the week. And we have a beautiful reading today and a beautiful meditation I hope you enjoy. Today, the reading is from the monthly Centers for Spiritual Living, the guide for this month, April's issue. And the reading is on page 21. It's called Sacred Sowing, Be the Fertilizer of Your Own Experiences by Jeffron Seeley. As we feel the vibrant sun shining down from above, enabling our life on this planet, our awareness expands beyond this sacred earth. We observe the beauty of the creation of this solar system we call our home. Our planet may be but one small speck of the sand of the infinite universe, yet within this small speck of sand, our existence unfolds. All of this is divinely aligned and can be an enormous source of gratitude and deep appreciation for life. If we shift from the macro of the universe and look at ourselves individually, we can observe something as simple as our ancestry. We see countless individuals, each life, who are absolutely essential in creating the human beings we are today. It does not matter whether these ancestors were beacons of light and love or hurtful, destructive people. They were essential for us to exist in this moment. The same energy that enables the Earth to rotate on its axis in this solar system with harmony and grace is the energy that gave rise to each human being who ever stepped foot on this planet. Divine intelligence is back of all things. Shifting our perspective to our individual lives, we can see numerous experiences we've had as we venture through this journey. Some experiences brought an abundant sense of joy, happiness, compassion, peace, and prosperity. Others brought turmoil, pain, fear, hurt, brokenness. Yet all experiences, both the perceived, empowering and disempowering, play a role in shaping our journey. Just as the soul in my garden has been through countless experiences I couldn't even imagine, so too have you. Yet it is those very experiences that make you so incredible. Those experiences act as the fertilizer that helps us to grow into our potential. As we know, the best fertilizer is the waste most people don't want. The challenges and waste often discarded can, in truth, become powerful nutrients for growth. Living as divine beings, empowered by the essence of life, means there is no experience or situation bigger than we are. We experience the experience and have the ability to empower and shape what we encounter. We are not at the mercy of an experience, but rather are both the observer and co-creator of our experiences. As the experiencer, we shape each moment in a way such that we use our essence or energy to unfold in something greater, something more profound. And now for our meditation today, we're going to be doing an experiential meditation. I'm going to give you like a guided experience about planting a seed and planting an intention that we might want to choose today. So first, let's take a nice deep breath in and out as we acknowledge consciously in this moment our connection with higher power, with divine source, as each of us so chooses. And now let's choose a quality of divine source, such as beauty, love, peace, joy, compassion, prosperity, wellness, healing, or perhaps you have your own quality different than these words. And so I invite you now, if you haven't already, just to close your eyes and having higher power right here with us, our divine source, and having chosen that word or quality you would like to have more of in your life, I invite you to consider that in front of you, you have a clay pot. It might be painted or it might be just a regular clay pot. You've got a bottom to it underneath there. And inside, you see some soil, some dirt. And now, if you'd like to bring to mind what kind of plant you'd like to plant today. Would you like a flower? What color would you like the flower to be? Or would you like an ivy, a green ivy, or a vegetable, a cucumber, a tomato? Choose what plant you would like to put in as we plant our intention as well. So next to you, see the seeds there. And so now you just can pick up and choose the seed you would like. Feel it in your hand, see it in your hand. And now I invite you to take that seed and put it down in your soul with your fingers. And just feel that soil and dirt and just let that seed go underneath down in the dirt. And as you bury that seed in the soil, knowing that as we bring to mind our quality or our situation we would like to manifest in our life, that we're doing that at the same time. So we plant that seed in the dirt, and we also hand over to our higher power into the beautiful field of manifestation what our word is that we would like to experience more of, or a situation you have that you would like to manifest. And as you take a nice deep breath in, just experiencing both of those, and continuing to sense and experience divine source being right here with us, just imagine nurturing that seed. So you just have a little glass of water and you pour just the right amount of water on that seed into the dirt. Just as every day you can say your intention, say your word, just like pouring water on your seed. And then imagine where you would like to place your clay pot. Would you like to place it near the window, so sunshine comes through the window to your seed, to your plant? Or would you like to put it on the porch or somewhere in your yard? And just imagine that daily it gets plenty of sunshine, just the right amount, plenty of water, just the right amount through the week. As daily you say your words, say your intention. And now imagine that some time has passed and you see your seed popping up above the soil. It pops up, there's a little seed germinating, and you see some little green popping up, and that seed is coming above to grow above the soil. Just as we're trusting that step by step, our experience is manifesting, our word that we've chosen is manifesting more fully within us in our daily life. And now imagine your seed has germinated even more. It's got a stalk. And imagine what that plant's going to look like when it totally buds out. Do you have a little bell pepper or cucumber budding out? Do you have flowers coming out? Whatever you've chosen, what color is that? And just imagining that plant just growing in your delight, just feeling delight and joy that that plant is growing so easily just with you and higher power, divine source, working in partnership to help this beautiful plant grow. And in tandem together, the manifestation of what you've chosen with your intention. Take a few deep breaths in and out and just enjoy imagining how that is manifesting in your life as you're enjoying your plant just growing beautifully. And now let's bring in feeling grateful for life, for being here together, being grateful for this meditation, manifesting what we have chosen, and having just a sense of awe and wonder as we continue to watch this manifestation of our word, our intention that we've chosen to just blossom out within our lives. As we watch springtime continue to blossom, the flowers and the trees going greener and all the beauty around us as spring continues to unfold. Take another deep breath in and out. As we release, again with gratitude, we say thank you. Thank you, Divine Source. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Higher Power, for this experience and so many more within life. And so it is. And so now, if you'd like to just open your eyes and move your toes, move your fingers, take a few deep breaths in and just take in what that was for you. If you so choose to write that down so you can just keep creating that, if you so choose. And so it is.
So I have before me the introduction to our changing theme for April, but before we do that, I'm taking a spontaneous moment. I don't know right now if Katrina is in the room, but I'm going to invite everybody. Let's just give our practitioners like a round of applause for the readings and meditation that they do. Every week they show up and they bring full presence, they bring full creativity, and it is just, blossoming us over the top. And we don't get a chance to do that every day. So thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy, too. And thank you, Katrina. Hopefully she will see this on the video if she's not in the room right now. You guys are just totally over the top awesome. And so I invite us to take that awesomeness into our message for today. We will have special music in just a moment, but it really supports the message today. So special music is within the talk. Our theme for 2025, rising higher and growing deeper. Our theme for April, fertilizing our future. Excellent foundation for fertilizing our future. And today's topic, preparing the soil of our possibilities. And with that, I want to invite Vernon to play our special music. This is I'm Walking on Sunshine out of the movie The Secret of My Success. And so as you take this scene in, just know that the hero in this song, he is all about absolutely knowing what his dream is and making it happen. Go ahead, Vernon.
Gee, listen, I got some notes here. I also have some charts, some graphs, some tapes. They're all sorted into different departments. You read my handwriting?
Sort of.
Do your best. Oh, I need some poster boards, some colored pencils, some colored push pins, T-square, drawing table, lots of pencils. And my lunch, Chinese. Hey, 4319?
Yeah.
Great. Morning.
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 Good morning.
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 Hi.
I don't know how many of you have ever seen the movie The Secret of My Success. It is certainly a movie that I would recommend personally in our private lives. Ideally, there's a part of me that would love to show it as a movie night. However, it does have some very risque scenes in it, and so we have elected not to do that. But if you do not know about the movie The Secret of My Success, I very, very much recommend it, especially because hopefully you all recognize that was Michael J. Fox, and Michael J. Fox is the epitome of embodying what it means, first of all, to live your dreams, and secondly, to just really show up in the courage to live this life no matter what it brings you. And I won't say any more about that right now, but all of that is the reason why I chose that scene for special music and that song for special music today. So to begin, take a moment to imagine what you know, what we know about how important it is to have the right conditions of our soil. Thank you, Tammy, for planting something in. You know, there's lots of examples that I would like to give today, and I don't think I'm going to get to them all. But when we think about what this means spiritually, you know, what we take in, we talk about how it generates the atmosphere that we live from, but it also, on a deeper level, it impacts what our internal soil, our internal receptivity is doing. And if someone hasn't had enough of what they need for too long, your internal soil can get cracked, like a soil in, you know, the desert that hasn't seen rain in too long. And then if something comes along that's exactly what we need, we can even see it. But if the soil of our internal life has gotten caked and hardened like clay, it's going to come in. If it comes in too fast, it's going to roll right off. just like water does. If you hit, if I've, you know, if you've ever seen water that hits soil that's not softened up, it'll just run right off. And so when we are able to receive enough love, like maintenance love, love from ourselves, love daily, high regard daily, keep the soil of our receptivity softened, then that's a part of recognizing the corollary to this analogy that we're talking about with the soil. And so with regard to the power of preparation of our soil and our preparation of everything about the container, like I love the analogy of the pot. To start with, that clay pot was just totally awesome, because having the container, that's like the idea we talk about. So your thought is the idea, and that's like the container. And then the desire and the emotion and the feeling that we have around that seed that we want to plant, that has to do with what soil we're putting the idea into. And so it all works together that way. So what I want to do is just offer you a few very powerful quotes about the importance of preparation, because in some ways, everything that will follow depends on our preparation. So the first quote is by Jane Houston. Just as you would not neglect seeds you've planted with intention that they will bear the fruits and vegetables and flowers that you dream of, you must attend to and nourish the garden of your becoming. The garden of your becoming. So often people have a dream and they say, I want to be or do or have this, okay? And we start from where we are, and then we wonder, well, why didn't that happen? Why didn't I suddenly show up as an accountant or whatever? You know, I put it out there, I told God what I wanted, but there's a process of becoming. And that process of becoming is like, you know, when the germination happens and the soil pops up, it looks messy, it feels messy. And sometimes there's a feeling like, are we really going to make it? You know, and that's all the process of becoming. And so it's important that we nourish the garden of our becoming. The next quote is by Simone Biles. And for those of you who might not know that name, Simone Biles is the young lady who is like, you know, the premier gymnast of our times right now. And she says, I don't really think about the degree of difficulty of my task or the possibility that I might make a mistake. I just try to relax and let my preparation and training take over. And then finally, the final quote is from the Roman citizen Seneca, like, you know, a few thousand years ago, who said, opportunity will come to anyone who is prepared for it. Opportunity and preparation emphasizes that readiness is crucial for seizing opportunities when they arise, as being prepared increases the likelihood of recognizing and taking advantage of them. And this points to the reality that our potentials and our possibilities, they're truly moving through us and going around us all the time. But when we are not prepared for embracing them, sometimes we won't even see them. And so if you have a quality of life that you'd like to be living, keep it in mind and be willing to commune with spirit around the idea that you're looking for it, so that you see it when it comes, and etc. And we're going to talk more about that. So there is a spiritual aspect to this and a human level, as with most things. So spiritually, what do you need to be completely ready to accept more of the good you choose in your life? Now, there could be as many unique answers to that question as there are people, because we're all in different processes in the spiritual classroom. There's certain things some of us have, and then things that we don't have, and it's different for everyone. But in preparation for this, I did come upon one element that is quite possible that most of us can relate to. at least to some extent or in some cases. And so my first example here is I actually got permission from Joan Durbin to share from a part of her current story. She was reaching for greater good in relationships. As of a couple years ago, Joan started working diligently on attracting a new romance into her life. In our teaching, you may have heard the saying, it works when you work it. Well, I promise, having been blessed to witness this, Joan worked it. And along came her beautiful man, Alan. Some of you may not know Alan yet, but you probably will. And as I was thinking about this being an excellent example, I went and I asked Joan, I said, as Alan actually began to manifest in your life, what did you learn about what the holdup was? And Joan said, you know, I'm so glad you asked because I learned it was about trust. She said, as he has come along and really come integrated into my experience, there have been times along the way where, you know, the bones have rattled in the closet. And we talk about that sense of pushback when we really accept more good in our lives. Like after the seed germinates and the plant starts to come up, and then we're like, whoa, I didn't know that was going to come with it. And all of a sudden, she said, I really discovered that I had not yet healed the ways in which from my past I had learned not to trust. And so she has had to really, you know, soften that soil and ask herself, what's it going to take me to have this beautiful experience and be able to trust more? And in my experience, it was interesting because a totally different arena. I learned this about my financial mental equivalent. There came a day when just after Vernon had come into my life, we had been married for about 2 months. And I, from my mother, I inherited about $80,000. And it wasn't all mine. I was the custodian of it for myself and my siblings. And I had never had that much money in my bank account ever in my life before. So it was really a push forward on a literal financial level. And of course, you think, oh, yeah, if the universe drops $80,000 into my bank, I'm just going to be, you know, peachy keen happy. And I was waking up every day terrified. And I had to ask myself, what in the world am I so uncomfortable about? And I could not believe that something wasn't going to happen to that money. And then my projections decided, here I have this relatively new man in my life. And I ultimately had to ask Vernon one morning, I said, oh my God, I have to ask you this question. I can't believe I have to ask you this question, but I just, you know, I need to know. I said, are you sure you wouldn't ever just go clean out my bank account and you know, run away with that $80,000? And of course, he assured me he would not. But I really learned. So as you think about the things that you want to come into your life, be willing to ask yourself the shadow side. Ask yourself, if the good that I have believed I would like in my life actually comes to pass, then am I ready for that? What's going to come up that might challenge me? In our journey through life, cultivating a fertile inner soil is essential for personal and spiritual growth. Just as a gardener tends the soil to ensure a bountiful harvest, we absolutely have to nurture our inner environment to realize our full potential. It's necessary to explore how our past experiences, positive and negative, or challenging, can serve as valuable nutrients that enrich our lives. You know, because that which we slough off becomes like our compost. And so when you think about the challenging things in your life and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that one again, don't push it away, because it's all part of it. And we start to realize this, then we're actually doing more maximizing than when we cut certain things off because it wasn't fun or it stunk or whatever. From there, we can take the active steps to nurture our dreams with everything involved. to ensure that they actually have the right conditions to flourish. And additionally, we'll be taking some emphasis on the difference between short-term gains, like is it something, immediate gratification has become such a thing with email and texting and all of that sort of stuff. And some of our dreams absolutely have a longer tide. Remember, we talked about short tides and long tides? Well, some of our dreams have a longer tide. They need more, germination time and all of those kinds of things. And we have to maybe learn again how to put off that sense of gratification and be willing to sit with things for longer. And by transforming the decaying aspects of our lives, those things that get sloughed off or have to be let go of, they become our compost and really, really then enrich in the future. So now that was a spiritual side. Then in human structure, knowing that you'll need what you'll need and how you need to support it in human terms is also important. Like along the way, when Joan was working on attracting a new love interest in her life, she did things like occasionally set that place for him at the table. Or she told me this last time I checked with her about it, she said, I actually cleaned out a closet because I knew that if there was someone here with me on a fairly regular basis, he's going to need a place to store his stuff. So she cleaned out a closet in advance before she ever met him. And so it's all of that kind of thing. Now, there is a relationship between preparedness and maintenance. So another thing to think about is when you're preparing to accept more good in your life and when you're preparing that soil, what happens if you prepare the soil and then don't do anything more to it? What happens if you plant that seed and you don't do that gentle watering that Tammy was speaking of, and maybe have the plant food that's necessary? It doesn't work to say, been there, done that, got it ready to go, and now, I just don't have to worry about it anymore. We have to do our spiritual and our human work with consistency for preparation and maintenance. And so now I want to, can you show that image for me, Vernon? So this is the image that many of you will recognize from classes. This is the science of mind symbol, as you all know, and it shows precisely just exactly what we're talking about here. So you can see this, the symbol behind me every day and think about this. You've got old ideas that are in need of transformation, and you've got the new idea coming in. That's like in our conscious mind. And then that middle section, that is the place of the law. That's the automated. That's our subconscious belief that has been going on so long we don't even have to think about it. It's just there. And then we have our level of belief. And so the idea, which is the seed, moves down into that soil of our belief and then has that space to germinate. Okay? And you can reference this each time you think about planting a seed. And so now I want to, there's another video that I want to say we're going to pick up with our hero. The hero's name is Holden Caulfield, and he changes his name in the movie to Brantley Whitfield as he's doing his transformation. And you'll have to see the movie to know more about why that is. But this last piece is so important because none of us, especially today, can really do this on our own. We need each other's support. We need to be coming together to network. And as you watch this next clip, this has the quality of working together and the kind of feeling that we would like for our culture and our society and our world to have. And it has to do with being willing to continue to create new relationships and nurture the relationships that we have. So go ahead, Vernon.
I think Whitfield is right and this report is wrong.
for those of you who might be wondering, the key figure in there that was bridging in all those relationships for Carlton Whitfield, her name is Aunt Vera. And if and when you ever see the movie, you'll learn a whole lot more about Aunt Vera, but she's part of the reason why we can't exactly use it as a movie night, really. But it's an excellent, excellent movie. And I don't know if you could notice in there, those people she was introducing him to, he had never met before. And what I want to leave with you as our community, I don't think there's any of you that are feeling isolated, but I don't know that. And it is incredibly important that, and please don't be shy. If you are feeling isolated, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. If you need more contact, if you need to loosen up the shoestrings around the idea of meeting new people or being on the phone more. I've had some people, not within our community so much, but I know a lot of people of all ages. I know there's youth who are afraid to pick up the phone. They're only comfortable texting because that's what they do. So if you have felt yourself curved back, let us support you gently and easily in getting more comfortable once again for actually being with people and what it feels like to meet someone new or shake the hand of someone you don't know. I just wanted to leave that with you. And as a closing thought, I do have a closing thought here. Let me see. This comes out of the content that National gave us. In closing, often we get caught up in the pursuit of short-term gains, neglecting the long-term health of the inner soil. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to go for the quick fix and immediate reward rather than through the process of what it takes to allow something to stabilize for the long term. Reflect on the areas of your life where you've possibly opted out for the quick fixes and stop and maybe consider that going for the quick fix might be truncating your comfort zone with the long term and stretching out and reaching for things you're not as easily in the quick fix by, or your comfort zone in embracing something new and unknown. When we shift our focus to the long-term growth, then our consciousness also has room to go deeper and stretch further. And that's the kind of where it's reciprocal. It all works together. Things originate from spirit and from our internal life, but then what we do with it externally also then feeds again what's going on internally. Building meaningful relationships provides us with the support system that we need to then support when the larger dreams manifest. You know, the saying that says, if you can get just yourself around your dream, it's not big enough. You know, the larger dream that spirit's going to catch and take farther is going to take more people than just ourselves. And these practices will require dedication and contribute significantly to long-term health overall, whether it's what we were dreaming of or just our everyday health as well. And so with that, I want to just invite us to take this into closing prayer. And I realize now I didn't stop and take a breath through this presentation. So I just invite everybody, stop and take a breath and let all that in to land within your system where it meets you where you are. And allow my words to act as your own if you choose. As I recognize the one life, and as there is only one, and that one is all that is, that one is all I am. And as that one is all I am, I realize that my word is the word of the one, and the word is the planted seed. The word is dropped through my soul and into the soil of my belief, which I am choosing to be enriched. I am choosing to be fertilized by all of the things that I've been working on for decades to allow myself to be set free, so that I have the needed compost, I have that richness, and I know that the seed of intention that I plant absolutely can and will blossom, as was so beautifully offered up on a tactile level in Tammy's meditation. I accept it, I embrace it, I embody it, and I release it into the law, allowing it to be. And so it is.
Thank you, Vicky, for that beautiful talk, and that's so fun. I have not seen that movie in so long. Secrets of My Success, man, that was really fun. And now for our time for prosperity affirmation and giving time. Your love and support are very appreciated. It keeps our center growing and thriving. We accept a credit card or debit card for support to the center, and you'll see the copy in the link for PayPal or Zelle online. And or you can also do a snail mail check to Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. That's comma TC for Teaching Chapter, P.O. Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky 40253. And I pass to you, Vicky, Reverend Vicky, for the blessing. Well, first, let's do the prosperity. There we go. So on the count of three, let's say together, if you so choose to say out loud, our April prosperity affirmation. I am a persistent and prosperous, life-affirming vessel of spirit. Now I pass to you, Reverend Vicky.
And I joyously take up this word just with a little chuckle in my heart. So grateful that our laughter and the fun we have together is also a spiritual practice. And so knowing that that laughter and love blesses this basket to be sent forth not only in the beauty, but in the joy and the childlike laughter. We thank you for all of your time, talents, and treasures. All of what you bring to LCSL is a part of what allows us to prosper. Thank you, God, for all of this and more. I let it be, and so it is.
So it is. And now today for our announcements. Next Sunday, Reverend Vicky will be talking about fertilizing our future some more. That's already going to be April 13th. And the specific topic will be visioning beyond the horizon. Please join us. The financial freedom class is coming up. Face everything and rise. That's awesome, with fear. It's going to be Wednesday evenings, May 7th through January 25th from 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. And that's going to be facilitated by Reverend Vicky, assisted by Katrina Darrow, our own practitioner. There's no required fee, but in the suggested love offering is, anywhere up to $100. And you can register by talking to Reverend Vicky. Please join us for sharing time after the service. Tell us how it's going or something about the service if you'd like. And now on the count of three, let's say to ourselves and to each other, you are magnificent.
Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, in this year, I pray to live deeply with purpose, to live freely with detachment, to live wisely with humility, to live justly with compassion, to live lovingly with fidelity, to live mindfully with awareness, to live gratefully with generosity, to live fully with enthusiasm. Help me to hold this vision and to daily renew it in my heart, becoming ever more one with you, my truest self.